The housing market is showing some serious cracks, and I'm not just talking about a few hairline fractures. These are deep structural fissures that are becoming impossible to ignore. Anyone paying attention can feel it. You feel it when you look at listing prices and wonder who can possibly afford them. You feel it when you hear the latest news about interest rates, which have climbed to levels we haven't seen in decades. That gut feeling you have. It's not just you, it's a collective sense of unease. A recognition that the ground beneath our feet is shifting. For years, we've witnessed a relentless climb. Prices have been pushed to their absolute limit, fueled by a combination of low interest rates, stimulus money, and a cultural obsession with home ownership. But this has created a dangerous imbalance. Affordability is at an all-time low. The ratio of median home price to median income is completely out of whack. In many major cities, it now takes more than half of the average person's monthly income just to cover a mortgage payment on a modest home. This isn't just a barrier to entry for first-time buyers, it's a ticking time bomb for the entire market. When people are stretched this thin, the system becomes incredibly fragile. So what happens next? When a market becomes this over-leveraged and fundamentally unaffordable, there are only a few possible outcomes. History tells us that what goes up must eventually come down, or at least correct itself. We saw it in 2008. We saw it in the early 90s. Real estate moves in cycles just like any other market. A correction doesn't always mean a catastrophic crash, but it often means a period of price stagnation or declines of 10, 20, or even 30% in the most overheated areas. The party can't last forever, and the music is starting to fade. With the economic clock ticking towards 2026, or 2026, a year many analysts are pointing to as a critical inflection point. Many smart investors are quietly shifting away from overpriced single-family homes. They see the writing on the wall. They understand that buying a depreciating asset, the house itself, on top of inflated land value, is a recipe for disaster in a down market. They are moving their capital toward the one asset we are not making any more of. Land. Raw, undeveloped land. It's the ultimate hard asset, the foundation of all real estate value, but without the liabilities of a structure on top of it. This is your chance to get in on the ground floor before the market catches on. While everyone else is panicking about their home values, you can be positioned in an asset class that behaves very differently during a downturn. This is about playing chess while others are playing checkers. So, why land and why now? The logic is simple, and it's incredibly powerful. When housing prices are inflated, you are paying a premium for the sticks and bricks, for the lumber, the drywall, and the copper wiring. These are depreciating assets. A roof will always need replacing. A furnace will always break. You're not just paying for the dirt underneath. You're paying for a structure that starts losing value the day it's built. In a hot market, this is masked by overall appreciation. But in a down market, the value of the structure can plummet, dragging your entire investment down with it. Raw land is a pure play on location and future potential. Its value is tied to what be done with it. It's a blank canvas. You're not buying someone else's taste or their maintenance problems. You're buying pure, unadulterated opportunity. And here's the best part for anyone looking for a stress-free investment. It has incredibly low holding costs. This is a game changer. Think about owning a rental property. You have to worry about a leaking roof in the middle of a rainstorm. You have to worry about a broken water heater on a holiday weekend. You have to worry about tenants calling you at 3 a.m. because the toilet is clogged. You have mortgages, insurance, repairs, vacancies, and management fees. It's an active, often stressful, business. With land, all of that disappears. Dirt doesn't call you with problems. Your main expense, and often your expense, is property taxes. And for undeveloped parcels, these are often laughably low, because the county assesses the value based on its current, undeveloped state. The tax burden is minimal. A small lot might cost you only a few $100s a year to hold. That's less than a daily cup of coffee. This low carrying cost gives you staying power. You can afford to be patient and wait for the right time to sell, without financial pressure forcing your hand. During a housing market downturn, while the value of sticks and bricks can fall dramatically, a well-located piece of land tends to hold its value far steadier. It acts as a buffer, a flight to safety for real estate investors. Its value is based on long-term potential, not short-term market fluctuations. This is how you protect your capital and even grow it, while others are losing their shirts. Your first step into the world of land investing begins right here, on your computer. Before you ever set foot on a piece of property, before you speak to a single seller, your journey starts with mastering the digital landscape. This is where the deals are found, where the opportunities are unearthed, and where you can build a foundation of knowledge that will serve you for your entire investing career. The barrier to entry has never been lower, thanks to the incredible wealth of information available at your fingertips. But with that accessibility comes a lot of noise. Our goal is to cut through that noise with precision and strategy. To do that, you need to become a master of the online search. This isn't about luck. It's about developing a repeatable process. It's about transforming yourself from a passive browser into an active strategic hunter of undervalued assets. Think of it like learning a new language. The language of property data, listing portals, and county records. Once you're fluent, you'll see opportunities that 99% of people completely miss. So forget just casually browsing Zillow on a Saturday afternoon, looking at million-dollar ranches you can't afford. That's entertainment, not investing. You need to use these platforms like a professional. A professional doesn't just look, they analyze. They don't just browse, they filter. They have a system. Your system should start with the right tools. While general real estate sites have their place, you need to focus on the niche platforms built specifically for land. Start with websites like LandWatch, Land.com, and Lands of America. These are the big three in the land space. They are aggregators filled with listings from brokers, agents, and, most importantly for us, individual owners. Create accounts on all of them. Set up saved searches and email alerts for the counties or states you're interested in. This automates the first layer of your deal-finding funnel. At the same time, don't completely ignore the giants. Use the land sections on major portals. Sometimes a seller or an inexperienced agent will list a great piece of land on a mainstream site, but they'll miscategorize it or write a poor description. These are hidden gems that the pros on the specialized land sites might overlook. Your job is to be more thorough than everyone else. Now for the most important part. The key is to use the filters aggressively. This is where you separate the signal from the noise. The very first filter you should always apply is price. Set your maximum to something you can comfortably afford for a down payment or an all-cash purchase. Maybe it's $5,000 or $10,000 to start. Don't be afraid to start small. My first deal was for a property I bought for just a few $1,000s. This single action immediately eliminates 99% of the noise. You're no longer distracted by sprawling ranches or commercial lots. You are now looking exclusively at a pool of properties that are realistically within your financial reach. This is a critical psychological shift. It moves you from dreaming to doing. You're now playing in a sandbox where you can actually make a move. Next, add a magic phrase to your filters or keyword search: owner financing or seller financing. Sometimes you'll see it abbreviated as OWC for owner will carry. This is your golden ticket, especially when you're starting out. You are specifically looking for sellers who have already raised their hand and said, "I am willing to be flexible. I don't need all my cash today." It means the owner is willing to act as the bank. They will let you buy their property without you having to go get a traditional bank loan, which, for raw land, is incredibly difficult to secure anyway. This is a complete game changer for first-time buyers or anyone without a huge pile of cash to invest. It bypasses the banks, the credit checks, and the lengthy underwriting processes. It's a direct negotiation between you and the seller. It often looks like a small down payment, $500 or $1,000, followed by manageable monthly payments of $150 or $200. Suddenly that $10,000 property isn't a $10,000 barrier, it's a $500 barrier. You can control a valuable asset for the price of a car payment. This is how you build a portfolio from scratch. Another powerful digital tool, and one that most beginners overlook, is the county website. Every county in the United States has a web presence, and they usually have separate pages for the assessor and the tax collector. The assessor's site is a treasure map. You can look up any property and find its size, its legal description, its assessed value, and often, its ownership history. This is ground truth data, straight from the source. The tax collector's site is where you can find the real hidden opportunities. You can find lists of tax delinquent properties and schedules for upcoming tax deed or tax lien sales. These are properties where the owner has failed to pay their property taxes for a number of years. The county is now looking to sell the property, or a lien on it, to recoup those lost taxes. This is an advanced strategy, but it's important to understand the potential. Sometimes you can acquire a $10,000 lot for roughly $1,500 in back taxes. This requires a significant amount of due diligence, and every state has different rules, but it's the ultimate example of finding motivated sellers and deep value through digital research. It all starts with mastering these online tools, building your process, and hunting for opportunity where others aren't even looking. In the world of real estate, the most lucrative opportunities, the deals that can truly set you on a path to financial freedom, are almost never listed publicly. They're not on the Zillow, the Redfin, or the MLS. They are found off-market. Why? Because the public market is a battlefield. It's where properties are professionally staged, marketed with high-gloss photos, and listed by agents who are experts at maximizing the price. This environment inevitably leads to bidding wars, driving prices up, and compressing your potential profit margins to almost nothing. Off-market deals, by contrast, are direct conversations. They are quiet transactions happening below the radar, away from the frenzy of competition. This is where you find untapped value, motivated sellers, and the potential for extraordinary returns. It's a hidden world, but I'm going to give you the keys to unlock it. The first and most accessible method is a classic strategy we call driving for dollars. It's beautifully simple and incredibly effective. The core idea is to physically explore areas on the cusp of development. So, pick an area just outside a growing city and scout. You're looking for the path of progress, the direction where new construction, new infrastructure, and population growth are heading. These transitional zones where farmland is slowly turning into suburbs are gold mines. The land here hasn't been fully repriced by the market yet, but its value is poised to increase significantly as the city expands towards it. This is where you can get in ahead of the curve. As you drive, you're not just sightseeing, you're a detective looking for clues. Specifically, you're looking for neglected lots. What does that look like? It's the vacant parcel with overgrown weeds reaching waist high. It's the property with old, broken fences that have been falling apart for years. Maybe there's a pile of old tires, discarded debris, or a sun-faded handwritten for sale sign that's been there for a decade. These are visual cues, signs of a potentially motivated owner. An owner who is tired of paying property taxes on a piece of dirt they don't use. An owner who may have inherited the land and lives hundreds of miles away. This isn't just an empty lot, it's a problem for them, and you are about to become their solution. Once you spot a promising lot that fits this description, your mission is to find out who owns it. This is the critical step that separates window shoppers from serious investors. Technology has made this incredibly easy. Use apps on your phone like Landglide or OnXHunt that show parcel lines and owner info in real time using your phone's GPS. You can literally stand in front of a property, tap on the screen, and get the owner's details. If you prefer a lower tech approach, that works too. Simply jot down the address of a neighboring house, or even just the street name and a cross street. When you get home, you can use that information to search your county's online property appraiser or tax assessor website. These public records are a treasure trove. They will give you the owner's full name, and most importantly, their official mailing address, which is often different from the property address, especially for vacant land. This mailing address is the key. That is all you need to make your move. Now, you're going to reach out. The key here is to be as low pressure and non-threatening as possible. You're not a slick corporation, you're an individual expressing interest, so craft a very simple direct letter or postcard. I recommend making it look personal. Use a plain envelope, a real stamp, and maybe even handwrite the address. The message itself should be concise and straight to the point. Something like this: "Hi, my name is your name, and I am interested in purchasing your vacant lot at property address or parcel number. I'm a local investor looking to buy a property in the area, and I was wondering if you would ever consider selling. If so, please call or text me at your number. Thank you." That's it. No complex jargon, no lowball offer. Just a simple, friendly inquiry. This is a numbers game. Don't send one letter and wait by the phone. You need to build a pipeline. Send 50 of these letters to 50 different property owners. Out of those 50, you can expect a couple of genuine responses. That might not sound like a lot, but think about it. Those one or two conversations are happening with absolutely no competition. You are the only person at the negotiating table. While direct mail is powerful, don't neglect the power of human connection. Your second strategy is to network with land-focused agents. Most real estate agents focus on houses. You need to find the specialists, the ones who understand acreage, zoning, and topography. Go to local real estate meetups and ask who the go-to land person is, but don't stop there. Talk to surveyors, builders, and even staff at the local planning and zoning department. These local insiders are the gatekeepers of information. They hear about opportunities first: a farmer thinking about retiring, a developer whose financing fell through, a family looking to quickly liquidate an inherited estate. They know about deals long before they ever hit the market. Let them know you're a serious, reliable buyer who can close deals. Take them to coffee. Ask them what they're seeing in the market. Provide value to them before you ask for anything in return. Building these relationships is a long-term strategy. It won't give you a deal tomorrow, but it will create a steady flow of opportunities that pays dividends for years, even decades to come. Finding a cheap piece of land is easy. Finding a good cheap piece is the challenge. Do your due diligence. It does not have to be complicated. A simple checklist avoids 90% of bad deals. First, access. Does it touch a public or private road? If it is landlocked with no legal access, it is virtually worthless. Verify on the county's GIS maps. Second, utilities. Call providers, electricity, water, sewer. Ask how close service is. At the lot line is great. Half a mile away can cost tens of thousands. For rural lots, investigate a well and a septic system. Get local cost estimates. Third, zoning and restrictions. Ask the county what is allowed on the parcel. Can you build a home? Place a mobile home. Is it agriculture only? Any deed restrictions or HOA rules? Finally, hazards. Check FEMA flood maps. Use satellite views to flag swamps, steep ravines, and industrial proximity. A few calls and free tools protect you from expensive mistakes. One of the biggest hurdles for new investors is money. The good news: with inexpensive land, you can bypass traditional banks. Use creative financing strategies. The #1 method is seller financing, your golden ticket. When you negotiate, everything is on the table. Down payment, interest rate, sometimes even 0%, and the loan term. Example: a $10,000 lot with $1,000 down and $250 per month for 36 months at 0 interest. Present offers with a simple promissory note, and record a deed of trust or mortgage through a title company or attorney. Partnerships work. Split the capital with a trusted partner and put the agreement in writing. Specify ownership, responsibilities, and exit strategy from day one. For small cash deals, consider a credit union loan or a 0% APR card, with a clear, fast payoff plan. Secure the property, then resell with terms. Use the buyer's down payment to wipe your initial loan. It is advanced, but a little leverage can get you in the game. The absolute best way to learn is by doing. Your goal is to get your first deal done, even if it is incredibly small. Focus on a very low-cost lot, $1,000 to $5,000. This first purchase is to learn the entire process on a low-risk deal. Learn how to read GIS maps, talk to planning, read a title report, and close a deal. Once you own your first lot, you have a tangible asset. Plan your exit before you buy. Hold for appreciation if taxes are low. A very passive strategy, or do minor improvements. Clear brush, mark corners to boost appeal. Sell it and offer seller financing to attract more buyers. If you bought for $5,000, you might list at $9,000 with $900 down. The housing market is unstable and the window to buy land at a discount is closing. Start your digital search tonight. Pick an area, set your budget, find 3 properties, make one planning call tomorrow. Your journey starts with that first small step.